How you doing? You got the Monday blues? Let's talk some basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back with another week of NBA basketball. That's right. It was a great weekend in the NFL. So I will say that it was a so-so weekend in the NBA. But speaking of the NFL, quick heads up, there's no Monday Night Football game, but we're going to have a video out Monday or Tuesday night. It's going to recap Week 18 and then also give kind of an early look and leans and stuff like that into the first round of the playoffs. We wanted to try to change it up for the playoffs a little bit. And then later in the week, we will have our actual best bets video. So just want to give you guys a heads up on that. But I'm ready to talk some basketball. It's that time. And before we do, you guys know OUTLIER. Any graphics you see in this video or future videos are from that app. It is the best betting research tool on the market today. If you want to try it out, click the link below for a 7-day free trial. So let's get into it. And we're going to start the week with a name that player. Here we go. This guy played 10 seasons. He was a two-time NBA All-Star. He played for two teams. He won an NCAA championship, and he appeared in the sitcom Family Matters. That's what we got. Don't cheat. Leave an answer below. Let's see who's got it. In this video, we're going to recap the weekend, and then we're going to talk defenses versus the point guard position. Defenses that give up the most points, rebounds, and assists, and the least points, rebounds, and assists. And then we're also going to give you inside the lines. It's going to be a little different, but we'll talk the best and worst against the spread teams in the last 20 games, and then we'll give you our best bets and finish it with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow as we just hit 35,000 subscribers over the weekend. It's crazy to even say out loud. It's all thanks to you guys, so we appreciate it. And all the support over on the Kyle Kerms channel, I'd appreciate that as well. And if you're not a subscriber over there, you got to go subscribe. Great guys. They really know what they're doing as well. So hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel as well. But I'm ready to get rolling. It's time to talk some basketball, and that means it's recap time. All right, it was a ho-hum weekend. We start out with Friday 2-2, and you're going to see some of the same players. Malik Beasley over 14.5 points. He was freaking horrendous. He went 1 of 10 from deep, and this is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, and he ended with 12 points. I would bet that a million times, but that day it did not work. Goga Batazzi over 23.5. We won on the hook. That was a stressful bet, and it shouldn't have been because his first half was horrendous, but either way, we did get lucky on that end of it. We got the win. CJ McCollum over 21.5 points. Easiest win of the weekend, probably scored, I think he scored 50. I'm not going to lie. It was something up there. And then the Grizzlies on the money line did not show up defensively, and that was a loss. So 2-2 there. And then Saturday, we go 2-2. Draymond Green under 6.5 assists, never a doubt. I think he ended with 3, so that was a nice one. Just something to keep an eye on. Draymond Green without Steph Curry going under assists. But Malik Beasley, we had to run it back. I wasn't going to miss out. I wish I would have went a unit on it, but he cashed this one pretty easily. And the under 235.5. I thought that was 3 quarters. That's my bad. I didn't know. I thought that total was for just the first 3. No, seriously, it was terrible read. There was points, and more points. Damian Lillard over 22.5 points. We go back to the grill, or go back to it with him, because actually there was Thursday was the last bet on him, and he was horrendous. He couldn't shoot. He didn't even shoot a lot. He's been in a funk last few games, but either way, 4-4, not exactly ideal. But again, on these weird days, if our bad days are going to be 2-2 splits where we lose a little bit, we'll take it, but it's time for some sweeps and some big days. So 132 and 107 on the season, up 12.01 units. Let's keep it rolling. But before we get to those best bets, let's talk the point guard position. All right, we start out with the defenses giving up the most points to the point guard position, and we got 2 matchups. The Kings facing Tyler Herro of the Miami Heat, 23.8 points per game. Kings giving up 27.6. Again, these stats are all in the last 30 days. And then the Blazers facing Cade Cunningham, 24.1 points per game, and the Blazers giving up 25.7. Any team or player in green means they are playing, but just no matchup today. So take a screenshot. There's the points. Now let's talk some rebounds. And we got one matchup, the Miami Heat facing De'Aaron Fox of the Kings, 4.9 rebounds per game, Heat giving up 6.5. And then there's all the rest of the guys. Giddey leading the way with 7 rebounds per game. So let's check out the assists now. And there we go. We got 2 matchups. The Nets facing Tyrese Halliburton, 8.8 assists per game. Nets giving up 10.6. And the Blazers, 9.3 assists per game given up to Cade Cunningham, who's averaging 9.5 himself. And as you guys know, Jaden Ivey is out as well. So there's all the rest of the teams and the players, and that's what we got for the most points, rebounds, and assists. Now let's look at the tough matchups for the point guard position. And right there, the top 4 teams giving up the least amount of points to the point guard position last 30 days are playing today. The Nets, Spurs, Knicks, and Suns. How about that? The Nets and Spurs leading the way as the only teams to give up under 20 points per game to the point guard. And then the rebounds, Pacers and Nets leading the way. Nets are tough against point guards, but again, they did trade for D'Angelo Russell and all that. So, and then fewest assists given up, Rockets leading the way with the Cavs and Hornets, surprisingly. And then Grizzlies, Magic, Pacers, Pistons, and Clippers are the other teams playing today, giving up the fewest assists. So hopefully this helps you out. Again, we do a different position every single day of the week. But now it is time to take a peek inside the lines. All right, we're doing a little different on Inside the Lines. We're going to go just the last 20 games to give you guys a little bit of an idea. We're just going to talk the best 10 teams against the spread last 20 and the worst 10 teams. I mean, look at the Thunder, 16-4. And by the way, ATS plus minus, as you see over there, it's the average amount of points a team covers the spread by. If it's plus, that's how much they covered it by. Minus means they actually went under the other way. So OKC Thunder, if you just bet on them against the spread last 20 games, you'd be 16-4. How about that? Cavs, 14-6. The good teams are not just winning, they're actually winning with margin, that's for sure. Memphis Grizzlies, 13-7, plus 6.6. And of course, I bet them when they absolutely stunk it up, and now they have injuries. So take that for what it is. It's last 20. Some of those are with John Morant. Then Spurs, 12-8, Magic, Clippers, Mavericks, Raptors, 76ers, and the Rockets round out the top 10 there. So take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you guys. I know we don't give out a ton of spreads and money lines and stuff in this videos, so I wanted to kind of help you guys out too. And then let's go to the worst teams, the teams that have just been not playing well. And how about the Kings? 6-14 ATS. I'm pretty sure I bet on 2 of their wins, but I faded them. They've only won when I've bet against them. But either way, Kings are the worst at 6-14. Suns 7-13. It's not pretty. And then the T-Wolves, Warriors, and Celtics all at 8-12. The biggest number is the Warriors, minus 4.6 under the spread. It's not been pretty. They have really struggled the last 20 games, and maybe actually even more after a good start to the season. So they got some problems, especially offensively there. But then we got the Pacers, Heat, Hawks, Nets, all the way up to the Bucks at 9-10-1, who decide to win the NBA Cup game. And then the last 2 games, they decide to lose to the Nets and the Blazers in back-to-back. Welcome to the freaking NBA. It's why I've been very cautious with my moneyline parlays this year, because who knows who's going to win these games sometimes. But either way, those are the best and worst against the spread teams in the last 20 games. And now it is finally time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Memphis, where the Grizzlies host the Dallas Mavericks. Grizzlies minus 5.5. Total in this one is 232.5. We're coming out swinging with 3 1-unit plays today. This first one, PJ Washington over 22.5 points plus rebounds at minus 110 on DK. So the big news here, Kyrie and Luka are both out for this game. Let's dive into Outlier and look at some more stats to kind of go over this one. So first, we just started on 2024. He's over in 10 of 28. Not good, but again, it means nothing because it's all about Kyrie and Luka, the 2 main guys, being out. So what you can do is go to the top, and you can click on without players. You go to Kyrie, and then you go to Luka, and there we go. He's played 3 games without them. Obviously, smaller sample size, but still good to see. He's over in 2 of the 3, going under on the hook in that third one. We'll talk about why in just a second, but he's averaging 25.67 PRs per game in those 3. And now let's scroll down for some more stats, and let's start out with the minutes first. So we can go right there to minutes. He's averaging 34.7 minutes. We know he's going to play huge minutes here as long as it's not some crazy blowout. And then you go to the field goal attempts. So he has taken in these 3 games 13, 20, and 18. So if you look at the game on the 18, which is when he went under by 1, he shot 6 of 18. I mean, to be honest, guys, that's actually one of those games you look at and you go, a guy can go 6 of 18 and still be 1 PR short only. That's a good sign. So, and then you go look at the rebound chances over there on the left. 15, 9, and 11 in those 3 games, averaging just about 12 rebound chances per game. So that's good to see as well. And then you go over there to the matchup on the right side versus power forwards. Grizzlies 22nd for points allowed versus power forwards, 20th in rebounds allowed. And then there's a pretty decent matchup if you dig even deeper. So PJ scores a lot of his points in spot ups and in transition. The Grizz, that's what I'm going to call them, are dead last, giving up 35.5 points per game in transition, and they've allowed the 11th most points per game from spot-up shooters. So again, 2 other kind of a deeper dive, good matchup for him as well. But to me, this is mostly about his high usage, his high volume that he's going to get. He's averaging around 17 shots per game, around 12 rebound chances per game without those 2 guys. I mean, you give me 17 shots and 12 rebound chances, I will absolutely take my chances. I like it. You know, I think he just needs like a decent shooting night. We don't want 6 of 20 or anything like that, but he should have plenty of volume to go over this. And the Grizzlies have shown some issues defensively lately. As we know, we bet on them one game, or I did, and they sucked. They absolutely sucked. They gave up 138 to Golden State and 121 to Sacramento. Actually, I think I said that wrong. 138 was to Sacramento, 121 was to Golden State in the last two games. With John Morant and Desmond Bane looking to both be out, this game should be somewhat competitive as well. So give me Pajamas over 22.5 PRs as my first best bet. All right, the second one takes us out to Detroit, Michigan, where the Pistons host the Portland Trailblazers. Pistons -6.5. Total in this one is 225.5. What an incredible game again here we got. But I got a best bet. It's a player prop. It's an over. Give me Cade Cunningham over 33.5 points plus assists at -120 on DK. Again, this is a one-unit play. We're coming out swinging. So Cade's usage goes even higher now without Jaden Ivey, obviously. In the last 5 games without Ivey in the lineup, as you can see by this outlier screenshot, over in 4 of the last 5. Only under was due to foul trouble, where he played 10 less minutes. So he's averaging a huge 39.2 points plus assists in the last 5 games without Ivy. And again, that's including the game he was in foul trouble. He's averaging 38 minutes per game, averaging 17.4 potential assists. And get this, he is averaging an insane 24.6 field goal attempts per game in the last 5 without Ivy. He's averaging overall this year the 8th most field goal attempts in the NBA at 20.1. And like you saw there, it goes up by 4.5 more shots per game without Ivy. Now we talk about this juicy matchup. It is straight from the point guard slides that you just saw earlier in the video, which, sometimes I tail those as well. The Blazers given up in the last 30 days the 4th most points and the 9th most assists per game to the point guard position. We have another guy, like we talked about with PJ Washington earlier. This is even higher on an elite level. I mean, this guy is a guy who is around like 30% usage. It's insane. So I just think his volume, he's going to shoot 20, 25 times easily in this one. I just need him to knock down some shots. And the potential assists, I mean, he's going to be good for 8 to 12 assists in this one as well. So I think he could go huge here. I think he could get 40 plus and kind of make it a no sweat as long as he stays out of foul trouble and knocks down some shots. But love the matchup, love the volume here. Give me CC over 33.5 points plus assists as my second best bet. All right, this third one takes us out to the land of the tiny beverages, where the Minnesota Timberwolves host the LA Clippers. Timberwolves -3. Total in this one is 215. My best bet, we're going under this time. Give me James Harden under 20.5 points. I got this at -125 on ESPN Bet, again for 1 unit as well. We are fading the beard. This Clippers team is fully healthy now. We got Kawhi Leonard back. That's right. I know he only played 19 minutes last game, and it was a blowout, but I do think he's still going to play in that 20-minute range, which is plenty enough for me to like this under. We'll talk more about it, but just a ton of mouths to feed. So in the last game with Kyrie, Harden only took 9 shots, while Kawhi, Zubac, and Powell combined for 38 shots. And now I don't think that's going to happen every game, but it just goes to show you there's a lot of mouths to feed here. Kawhi took more shots in 19 minutes than Harden took in 29 minutes. So if we just peek at 2023, which again, it's a different team and all that, but if you look at with Kawhi on the court, he went under this line in 44 of 63 games. And you can say, well, there was Paul George and that kind of stuff. Well, we have Norman Powell taking a ton of shots now this year as well. Harden is only averaging 21.5 points per game this year, just overall in general. That was mostly, obviously, without Kawhi Leonard. Some games without Norman Powell. So this line is around at his average. And then we talk the matchup. He has struggled versus the T-Wolves in his career. In the 2 games this season, he scored 20 and 5. But the 20, which was still under, but the 20 was without Kawhi, obviously, and without Norman Powell in that game. So he needed a lot of usage to get there. In the last 4 games in his career versus Minnesota with Kawhi Leonard, under in all 4 games, and not just under, we're talking way under, averaging only 11.75 points per game. We know the T-Wolves are a top 3 defense in this league. They know how to defend him. So overall, it's going to take a very efficient night, in my opinion, for him to score in the 20s. He just, in the last game, he had 7 first-quarter assists. That's right. He is completely okay and capable of just being the distributor. I love his over assist in this one, to be honest with you. I was looking at that one or the under points. I think they're correlated. I think he's going to dish the ball quite a bit. He's not a guy who has to have his 15 to 20 shots like you saw last game. He only took 9. So I love this one. Give me Jim Harden under 20.5 points. That is my third and final best bet on the video. Any added plays will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. Let's start the week out with a 3-0 sweep. That would be sweet. So anyways, before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. There it is. PJ Washington over 22.5 points plus rebounds for a unit. Cade Cunningham over 33.5 points plus assists for 1 unit. And Jim Harden under 20.5 points for 1 unit. We're coming out swinging today. Let's get some winners. Again, leave your comment below with your favorite bet, your favorite parlay. I know some of you guys are giving out some winners there in the comments, so keep that going. I appreciate the support. If you haven't already, hit that like button. I would appreciate it. But hope everyone has a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.